me floating into outer space. We talk about the weather and the evening news, hide in the depth of the purple and blues. I'm holding my breath every time that you speak, playing a game of analog hide and seek. The boundary line is incredibly thin. I don't exactly know where to begin. A sudden shift in the midnight air, telling me the magic is finally there. We're just one step away from the beautiful fall, one step away from risking it all, one step away from the neon light, surrendering completely to the velvet night. Just close the distance, don't hesitate. We're one step away from a brand new fate. The synthesizer hums a delicate chord, a quiet tension and a sweet reward. I see the question hiding in your eyes, a million beautiful and sweet replies. Let's drop the safety of the friend zone wall and answer the heavy magnetic call. I'm standing on the edge of the great unknown, tired of walking this planet alone. Reach out your hand and pull me across. No more calculating the potential loss. A leap of faith into the indigo sky, with no more reasons to wonder why. We're just one step away from the beautiful fall, one step away from risking it all, one step away from the neon light, surrendering completely to the velvet night. Just close the distance, don't hesitate. We're one step away from a brand new fate. One step away, I'm ready now. One step away, make the vow.
The sky was gray and the streets were cold, a story that had already been told. I was just a passenger on a lonely train, watching the world through a window of rain. Then you stepped in and the colors changed. The stars above were all rearranged. A simple hello was a brand new spark, you're the only gold inside. I used to dream in a digital blur, forgetting who I actually were. But you're the anchor, you're the steady ground, the sweetest music that I've ever found. We're cruising slow in a vintage frame. I'll never be the person I was, never be the same. With every mile and every breath we take, I'm waking from a sleep for your sake. jacket made of heavy steel, trying to hide the things you really feel. You walk the neon streets with careful eyes, protecting all your quiet, sweet replies. I see you looking from the window pane, watching the world wash away in the rain. You think that keeping distance keeps you safe, a solitary ghost in a silent space. But the armor's getting heavy on your tired soul, and isolation takes a quiet, heavy toll. Let down the drawbridge, let the evening in. This is where the healing can begin. Don't hide your heart in the velvet dark. Don't be afraid of the original spark. Don't hide your heart from the neon light. I'm standing here to make it all alright. You don't have to face the winter on your own. Drop the heavy walls of stone. I know the history of broken lines, I know the danger of the warning signs, but I'm not here to play a temporary game or casually forget your given name. I brought a blanket and a steady fire to burn away the cynical desire. Just take a breath and let the fortress fall. I'm perfectly ready to catch it all. Step out of the shadows, step into the glow. Let the gentle rivers of the spirit flow. You're beautiful when you are completely real. Teaching this analog world how to feel. Don't hide your heart in the velvet dark. Don't be afraid of the original spark. Don't hide your heart from the neon light. I'm standing here to make it all alright. You don't have to face the winter on your own. Drop the heavy walls of stone. Hide your heart. Hide your heart. Put your hand in mine.
The room is quiet and the shadows fall. I see your silhouette against the wall. You're looking out into the rainy street, where the neon lights and the darkness meet. I know the silence has a heavy weight, and maybe both of us are standing late. But don't let the distance grow too wide. I'm standing right here by your side. The static fades into a gentle hum, the quiet beating of a distant drum. We don't have to let the story fade, or throw away the beautiful love we made. Please don't turn away from me tonight. Let's find our way back to the fading light. Don't turn away and leave me in the blue. My analog heart is beating just for you. Just take a breath and look into my eyes. shadows and the lies. The radio whispers a familiar song, reminding us of where we both belong. I know the winter makes the spirit cold, but we have a magic that will not grow old. I'll wrap my arms around your quiet fears and gently wash away the hidden tears. Just let the defenses softly fall. We're gonna safely catch them all. Don't close the door, don't walk into the gray. We have so many things we need to say. A temporary glitch upon the screen doesn't change the beauty we have seen. Please don't turn away from me tonight. Let's find a way back to the fading light. Don't turn away and leave me in the blue. My analog heart is beating just for you. Just take a breath and look into my eyes, and leave behind the shadows and the lies. Turn away, I'm standing here. Turn away, I'll dry the tear.
The sunlight hits the heavy wooden studio door, casting a golden shadow on the parquet floor. We've been tuning the instruments for half the day, waiting for the cynical mood to wash away. The drummer taps the cymbal with a heavy brush, bringing the entire room into a velvet hush. No sheet music, no heavy corporate demands, just trust in the magic resting in our hands. The red light blinks and the heavy tape begins to roll. We're pouring out the absolute bottom of our soul. No rehearsal, no perfectly calculated plan, just a beautiful connection between man and man. We're laying down the golden session tonight, bathed in the warm and forgiving yellow light. The golden session, flawless and free, a beautiful moment in the analog sea. We're catching the lightning inside of a glass jar, showing the universe exactly who we are. The saxophone whispers a relaxing slow line, untangled in the heavy knots along my spine. We're playing off each other in a perfect groove. fade down the drain. A masterpiece painted in black and gold. A beautiful story that never gets old. We're laying down the golden session tonight, bathed in the warm and forgiving yellow light. The golden session, flawless and free. A beautiful moment in the analog scene. We're catching the lightning inside of a glass jar, showing the universe exactly who we are. Golden session, golden session, golden session. The gymnasium was covered in a heavy paper star. We parked the rusted Chevy right outside the bar. You wore a jacket that was 2 sizes too big. We didn't care about the modern, cynical gig. The speakers were pumping a heavy, slow jam. I finally knew exactly who I am. We stepped on the floor and we completely disappeared. The absolute greatest thing that I ever feared. The calendar froze in a perfect amber blot. I completely disconnected the hands of the clock. The physical memory might slowly fade away, but the analog rhythm is forever gonna stay. We are trapped in a velvet night in '86, where the magic and the beautiful music mix. A velvet night wrapped in the indigo blue. A perfect universe designed exclusively for two. I close my eyes and I can smell your perfume, dancing alone in the middle of the room. The saxophone whispers a cinematic line, untangling the heavy knots along my spine. I remember the feeling of your hand in mine, a beautiful geometry, a perfect design. We didn't know the future would be heavy and fast. We thought the innocence would permanently last, but I kept the cassette safely locked in my chest, the absolute place where my treasures rest. Let the decades turn and the hair turn gray. I am never gonna wash the vintage magic away. A masterpiece painted in black and gold. A beautiful story that never gets old. We are trapped in a velvet night in '86, where the magic and the beautiful music mix. A velvet night wrapped in the indigo blue. A perfect universe designed exclusively for two. I close my eyes and I can smell your perfume. about the fire that lights up the sky? A sudden explosion that dazzles the eye, the dramatic romance that burns fast and bright and leaves you completely alone in the night. I used to chase after the dangerous sparks, wandering blindly through the empty parks. But the lightning fades and the ashes fall, leaving a heavy and an empty wall. I don't want a firework that crashes and dies. I want the steady light inside of your eyes, a quiet resistance against the cold, a beautiful story that never gets old. Let the young lovers chase the heavy glow. Our analog hearts are gonna burn slow. Burn slow in the velvet dark, protecting the core of the quiet spark. We're built for the winter, we're built for the rain, a steady warmth that will always remain. The synthesizer plays a hauntingly deep note, a quiet language we silently wrote. We sit by the window and watch the snow fall, protected safely behind the heavy wall. It takes a little patience to build up the heat, to make the geometry truly complete. But the slow burning embers will never decay, keeping the cynical shadows away. We don't have to rush to the end of the tape. We found a perfectly beautiful escape, a vintage devotion, timeless and deep, a beautiful promise we are going to keep. Let the young lovers chase the heavy glow. Our analog hearts are gonna burn slow. Burn slow in the velvet dark, protecting the core of the quiet spark. We're built for the winter, we're built for the rain, a steady warmth that will always remain. Burn slow. Burn slow. The clock is ticking on the bedside stand. I'm holding on to magic in my hand. The world is spinning in a slow-mo blur. Everything is softer than it were. Can you hear the rhythm in the dark? Every heart beats like a tiny spark, connecting us through the digital air. I can feel your presence everywhere. It's a frequency, it's soul to soul, something that we can't even control. Just close your eyes and let the feeling grow, deeper than the shadows ever go. Anyone can feel it, the magic in the night, shining like a beacon. captive, spirit free. Anyone can feel it. The magic in the night, shining like a beacon of a neon light. Anyone can feel it. The pulse within the soul, losing all our senses, losing all control. Just feel it.
The school bus is loud and the voices are cruel. I'm learning to play by the cynical rule. I sit in the back with my head to the glass, watching the heavy suburban hours pass. But I reach in my bag and I pull out the gold, the greatest treasure that my hands ever hold. I press the foam circles right over my ears and instantly wash away all of the fears. The AA batteries are bringing it to life, cutting through the tension like a silver knife. The magnetic ribbon starts to beautifully spin, and this is where the analog magic begins. I'm living inside of a yellow plastic universe, safe from the modern and the cynical curse. A yellow plastic universe, bright and free, a beautiful sanctuary built just for me. I can carry the heaven right in the palm of my hand and escape to a beautiful analog land. The analog pads swell like a gentle tide, with absolutely nowhere left to hide. The singer is whispering a comforting tune under the watch of a painted silver moon. The kids on the bus are just a silent TV show. I'm perfectly happy in the ultraviolet glow, a vintage isolation beautifully sweet, making the afternoon totally complete. Let the world be heavy, let the world be cold. I am perfectly protected by the yellow gold, a masterpiece running on a youthful breeze, bringing my restless anxiety to its knees. I'm living inside of a yellow plastic universe, safe from the modern and the cynical curse. A yellow plastic universe, bright and free, a beautiful sanctuary built just for me. I can carry the heaven right in the palm of my hand and escape to a beautiful analog
In the empty streets with the freezing rain, the shadows in the corners are growing tall. I'm watching the heavy darkness start to fall. I wrap a blanket tight around my weary chest, looking for a place where my spirit can rest. I reach out my hand in the freezing cold and turn the heavy dial of silver and gold. The filament warms and begins to shine, a beautiful amber and vintage design. The shadows retreat from the edge of the room, chasing away the suffocating gloom. Basking in the glow of the old radio, watching the gentle analog rivers flow. Begun. The frequency catches a distant slow jazz band, playing a melody I completely understand. The saxophone melts all the frost on the glass. I'm watching the cynical cold hours pass. It's a physical warmth from a plastic shell, vintage magic that I know so well. I close my tired eyes and I sink in the chair, breathing the static in the midnight air. Hidden in this paradise, a glowing dial in the velvet night, making everything feel beautifully right. Basking in the glow of the old radio, watching the gentle analog rivers flow. The glow of the old radio, steady and warm, my quiet sanctuary. Just begun. The glowing the glowing
drowning in a freezing winter rain. People are hiding in their heavy woolen coats, swallowing the shivering caught inside their throats. But we are sitting quietly on the living room floor. We don't need to fight the bitter weather anymore. beautiful sanctuary, soft and deep. The sweetest promise I'm going to keep. We are living in an endless August inside, with absolutely nowhere for the magic to hide. An endless August tangerine and bright, chasing away the freezing shadows of the night. Let the snow fall down on the quiet, empty street. We have a summer memory to keep the vintage heat. Endless August, endless August, a promise to keep.
The thunder was heavy and the words were sharp, playing a dissonant tune on a broken heart. We stood in the hallway with our foolish pride, with absolutely nowhere left to hide. I watched you reaching for the heavy door, thinking we wouldn't survive it anymore. The analog clock was ticking a painful beat, and the winter chill was rushing into the street. But you dropped your hand and you turned around, looking at the shadows on the wooden ground. The storm clouds broke and the static cleared, and all of my cynical theories disappeared. I'm so glad you stayed when the night was rough, when trying your hardest didn't feel like enough. So glad you stayed in the fading light to help me make the broken pieces right. We weathered the storm and we paid the cost, and realized exactly what wasn't lost. The saxophone whispers a healing tune under the warmth of a silver moon. I pour us a coffee in the morning haze, washing away the bitter, heavy days. We don't need to analyze the tears we cry, we simply survive the turning of the tide. A vintage foundation, steady and deep, a beautiful promise we managed to keep. Let the young lovers run at the first sign of rain. We have a remedy for the modern pain, a quiet devotion The storm is heavy on the window glass, watching all the modern chaos pass. I see the worry lines upon your face, feeling like you're losing in the race. But leave your heavy armor at the door. You don't have to fight them anymore. I'm pulling up a chair right next to you to help you make it safely through the blue. The world is full of people letting go, running fast when they should take it slow. But I am planted firmly in the ground, the safest kind of shelter to be found. I'm never walking away, no matter the rain. I'll be the umbrella for your quiet pain. Never walking away, I'm holding the line, tying your beautiful analog heart to mine. When the lights go dark and the music fades, I'll be standing with you in the shades. We've seen the seasons turn from green to gray and watch the artificial fade away. But what we have is built on solid stone, a frequency that we have always known. I'll be the steady rhythm in your chest, the place where all your worries come to rest. No complicated puzzles left to solve, just a gentle promise and a strong resolve. Let the cynics talk, let the rumors fly. We have a truth they simply can't deny, a vintage kind of loyalty and trust that never turns to digital dust. I'm never walking away, no matter the rain. I'll be the umbrella for your quiet pain. Never walking away, I'm holding the line, tying your beautiful analog heart to mine. When the lights go dark and the music fades, I'll be standing with you in the shades. Never walking away, right by your side. Never walking away, nothing to hide. I've ever seen. I pull you close in the fading light, and suddenly everything is perfectly right. The chaos outside is a heavy, cold wave, but we have a beautiful sanctuary to save. I block out the static and I lock the main door. I don't wanna play their heavy games anymore. I'm listening to the steady pulse of us tonight, bathed in the warm and forgiving yellow light. The pulse of us beating strong and deep, a beautiful promise I am going to keep. Let the modern empires crumble to rest. We have a monument of analog trust. The synthesizer plays a triumphant slow hum. We're marching to a singular vintage drum. I don't need a guarantee, I don't need a plan, just a quiet woman and a quiet man. We built an entire language out of synths and bass, a telepathic wire in the empty space, a permanent tether, solid as stone. We're never walking this planet alone. Let the digital servers crash and burn. We are patiently waiting for our beautiful turn. A masterpiece painted in black and gold, a beautiful story that never gets old. I'm listening to the steady pulse of us tonight, bathed in the warm and forgiving yellow light. The pulse of us beating strong and deep, a beautiful promise I am going to keep. Let the modern empires crumble to rust. We have a monument of analog trust. The pulse of us, steady and true. The pulse of us, just me and you. The day was a mountain that you had to climb, but you've reached the valley and you've reached the time. The city is sleeping and the streets are bare. Leave all your worries in the midnight air. The digital noise is starting to fade. Rest in the comfort of the shadows we made. There is no pressure and there is no rush, just a beautiful analog hush. The moon is a beacon in the indigo deep, guiding you softly into the sleep. The frequency's low and the rhythm is slow, with absolute
absolutely nowhere else to go. Close your eyes and let the world drift away. Forget the heavy shadows of the long hard day. Close your eyes, you're safe in my arms, protected entirely from the outside harms. Just breathe in the magic and breathe out the pain. I'll be your shelter from the winter rain. I'll watch the shadows dance on the wall while the gentle rivers of the evening call. The synthesizer hums a steady low drone. You never have to walk the darkness alone. Dream of the oceans and dream of the stars, healing the invisible hidden scars. A vintage promise, quiet and deep, a beautiful secret that we're gonna keep. Sleep now, my darling, the battle is won. You've done enough under the sun. The tape is still rolling, steady and true, watching over the beauty of you. Close your eyes and let the world drift away. Forget the heavy shadows of the long hard day. Close your eyes, you're safe in my arms, protected entirely from the outside harms. Just breathe in the magic and breathe out the pain. I'll be your shelter from the winter rain. Close your eyes tonight, my love. Close your eyes, watch the stars above. The physical world is shutting its heavy eyes underneath the painted violet skies. I place the plastic box right next to my head and sink into the comfort of a lonely bed. The rhythm starts to spin in the quiet dark, fueling the fire of the analog spark. The singer is whispering a lullaby tune under the watch of a silver painted moon. The gravity pulls, but my spirit takes flight, navigating through solitary chord, a quiet surrender and a sweet reward. The frequency washes over my heavy chest, the absolute perfect place for my soul to rest. I see the neon colors behind my closed eyes, erasing the modern and the artificial lies. A vintage sanctuary made of plastic and wire, burning with the quiet and a beautiful fire.
Busy city rushing on its way. The world is a puzzle that I can't decode, a complicated and confusing road. But then you arrive like a summer breeze, and suddenly my mind is at its ease. The colors turn from a dull black and white into a canvas of the brightest light. The gravity shifts and the air is sweet. The rhythm is steady in the analog beat. I drop the worries and the heavy disguise the moment I look into your eyes. When I'm with you, the universe is right. Everything is bathed in a golden light. When I'm with you, the static disappears, washing away all my quiet fears. I'm perfectly safe in a neon dream, floating smoothly down a digital stream. We don't need a party or a crowded hall. We're perfectly fine, just ignoring the call. A VHS movie and a quiet couch, escaping the things that make the spirit slouch. You have a way of making time stand still, a quiet magic and a gentle will. The simplest moments are a treasure of gold, a beautiful story that never gets old.
the purple skies. My hands are shaking on the leather wheel, searching for a feeling that is real. I'm pushing limits, I'm breaking through the haze, just to find the exit from this lonely maze. Through the midnight run, I'm coming for you. Across the grid of neon, through the morning dew. No speed is fast enough, no road is too far. I'm guided by the rhythm of your silver star. In the midnight run, digital rain is falling on the windshield glass, watching the ghosts of our memories pass. The dashboard glows with a futuristic blue. Everything I'm doing it for you. Don't look back, don't let the fire die. We're just two outlaws in a technicolor sky. Hold on tight, the night is almost done. We're winning the race of the midnight run. Through the midnight run, I'm coming for you. Across the grid of neon, through the morning dew. No speed is fast enough, no road is too far. I'm guided by the rhythm of your silver star. In the midnight run, midnight run, midnight run. The sun is rising in the rearview mirror. Everything is clearer. I'm almost there, just a mile to go. Midnight run. It's just a little piece of plastic and a magnetic thread, but it holds the weight of everything we ever said. We push it in the dashboard of the rusted car and follow the guidance of the morning star. The city in the rearview is a fading gray. We're leaving the heavy, cynical ghosts away. The engine is humming a steady low drone, heading directly into the great unknown. triumphant slow hum. We're marching to a singular analog drum. Track 3 is the promise that we'll never quit. Track 4 is the fire that we beautifully lit. The white lines are pulling us deep into the blue. There is absolutely nothing left for us to do. Just keep the tires rolling on the pavement stone, knowing we will never have to face the world alone. Let the music play. We are washing the shadows of the past away. A vintage momentum, incredibly sweet, making the victory beautifully complete. It's a ribbon of hope spinning in the dark, fueling the fire of the original spark. A ribbon of hope unwinding in the night, guiding us safely to the morning light. A pocket-sized universe, wild and free, carrying the beautiful dreams of you and me. Ribbon of hope. A ribbon of hope to the solid ground.
I left the coffee cup upon the stand, a fading picture in my trembling hand. The apartment feels so empty and so wide, with absolutely nowhere left to hide. I watch the yellow taxis pass below, through the haze of the purple neon glow. I tell myself that you just need some space, a temporary absence from right here ever since. If you come back again, I'll leave the light on, waiting in the shadows till the break of dawn. If you come back again, out of the blue, I'll erase the static and start anew. I'm holding on to ashes of a burning flame, whispering the syllables of your name. Come back again through the mist. Come back again, like we never missed.
The city has completely lost its heavy voice, leaving me alone with my midnight choices. I'm sitting in the dark with the stereo on, waiting for the shadows to be fully gone. I slowly turn the dial through the empty air, looking for a signal that is resting there. The white noise rushes like a digital sea, until a quiet melody reaches out to me. The static drops away and the rhythm is slow, bathing the room in a violet glow. I don't know the DJ and I don't know the band, but I feel a sudden warmth resting in my hand. I'm locked into the midnight frequency tonight, washing away the cynical artificial light. The midnight frequency playing soft and deep, a beautiful promise that the airwaves keep. I don't need to change the channel anymore. I found the analog magic I was looking for. The synthesizer bends in a cinematic sigh, underneath the heavy invisible sky. The singer is whispering a familiar pain, like a quiet umbrella in the sudden rain. It feels like a message transmitted for two, a telepathic wire connecting me and you. We're miles apart in the physical space, but we're sharing the warmth of this analog grace. Let the other stations broadcast their heavy news. I'm perfectly content with these velvet blues. A vintage connection permanently sealed, the absolute truth beautifully revealed. Locked into the midnight frequency tonight, washing away the cynical artificial light. The midnight frequency playing soft and deep, a beautiful promise that the airwaves keep. I don't need to change the channel anymore. I found the analog magic I was looking for. Midnight frequency, midnight frequency. I leather jacket and the faded jeans, the absolute center of my teenage scenes. The colors on the paper started bleeding through, but nothing ever changed the vibrant hue of you. We've added some lines around the eyes, watching a million different suns arise. The cassette tape of time keeps rolling fast, leaving the shadows of the analog past. But sitting right here in the living room light, I'm traveling back to that original night. It still feels like yesterday, soft and clear, when you whispered your name into my ear. Still feels like yesterday, the original spark, lighting the fire in the velvet dark. The calendar turns and the seasons fade, but I'm perfectly resting in the love we made. We don't need a time machine to travel back. We're riding securely on a vintage track. The way you laugh at the jokes I make, a beautiful rhythm that will never break. We weathered the winters and the bitter frost and realized exactly what wasn't lost. A quiet devotion, a steady hand, the safest shelter in a crazy land. Let the digital world keep rushing on. We're sitting right here till the break of dawn. A masterpiece painted in gold and gray, feeling exactly like yesterday. It still feels like yesterday, soft and clear, when you whispered your name into my ear. Still feels like yesterday, the original spark, lighting the fire in the velvet dark. The calendar turns and the seasons fade, but I'm perfectly resting in the love we made. Like yesterday, like yesterday, like yesterday. The diner is empty, the coffee is cold. We're sitting here watching the evening unfold. We talked about the weather and the passing of time, a perfectly safe and a meaningless rhyme. But I see a flicker inside of your eyes, a shadow of something behind the disguise. The static is humming a familiar tune under the watch of a cynical moon. I don't wanna push and I don't wanna break the fragile foundation we're trying to make, but I need to know if the embers are dead or if there is something we left unsaid. If you still feel it, just give me a sign, a subtle shift on the borderline. If you still feel it deep in the blue, I'll leave the door completely open for you. Just a whisper, a touch of the hand to guide me back into the analog land. We built up a wall, made a distance and pride, with nowhere to go and nowhere to hide. I packed up the memories in a vintage box and threw away the keys to the heavy locks. But sitting across from you in the neon subtle shift on the borderline. If you still feel it deep in the blue, I'll leave the door completely open for you. Just a whisper, a touch of the hand to guide me back into the air.